So much history here in Leimert Park. This is Leroy Downs with All Music Television. Today we're here at the famed world stage. Maybe not the one you knew, but certainly the one that you're going to get to know. And with me, the executive director of the world stage, the one and only Mr. Dwight Trible.
Hey, boy, the executive director. How did that happen so fast? Dwight Trible, now the elder. Elder Trible.
Well, you're the elder of the neighborhood, man, and you could tell us so many great stories that have happened here for so many years here at the world stage. Tell us why we're here today. I know we're doing a fundraiser for the world stage. We've done one before, but let's talk about the one happening today.
Well, as everybody knows, the reason that we're here in the first place is because of a great man named Billy Higgins and another great poet laureate, Kamal Daoud. And 27 years ago, they had this wonderful idea to have a place where everybody, musicians, artists in the neighborhood could really access high and fine art in our own community. You know, this place has been thriving on all volunteer labor for 27 years. So, that's a testament in itself, and it shows that, we've had so many beautiful people that's come out of the world stage, that's come through here, including myself.
I'm a blind man, y'all. I'm a blind man, y'all. Yeah, act like I'm a blind man, y'all. Does anybody out there feel what I'm saying tonight?
There's so many special people here in Leimert Park, people that have been here for a number of years playing with great vibrations. We're going to talk about a percussive master right here. Mr. Durf Reklov, what's up, man?
Hey, Brother Roy, how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. This brother's from Chicago, man, but brought the Chicago love, that AACM right here to the epicenter of the music in Leimert Park, man. And you've been playing here for a number of years and have been such a root in the vibration of Leimert Park.
Yes, I mean, I even live in this neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood since 1996, and it's really been a great experience to play with Dwight Trible and with other famous musicians at the old world stage and at the new world stage as well.
Tell me about what the sound of Los Angeles means to you.
Man, I think it's like a combination of going back to at least the 90s when we had some of the hip-hop artists that were coming in with the jazz influence, like the Far Side and Freestyle Fellowship and that whole thing. And that listening to jazz from a sampling standpoint, some of them picked up on it and incorporated it into actually being musicians. You know, they wanted to play this music that they heard being sampled instead of just, grabbing at 4 bars or 8 bars. And now we've got, these Kamasis and terraces and whatnot that really a living, breathing document of what's going on here in Los Angeles, the cool aspect of it, the mixture, and taking it really out. I mean, to me it sounds, a lot of the stuff, for whatever reason, particularly with Kamasi, is reminding me of like a combination of what Charles Stepney was doing in the late 60s with the orchestration and jazz and the hip-hop influence and the street and culture, all this stuff blended. And we're getting a really different sense of it from an LA standpoint for a change.
Now what you see here is a new world stage. The old world stage across the street, they've been here for 25 years. An all volunteer run organization. Who put it together? Mr. Billy Higgins, the great jazz drummer, one of the most recorded jazz drummers in the business, as well as poet and great activist here in Los Angeles, Mr. Kamal Daoud.
It really is amazing, just to see how just the right time and the right place and the right people, how magic takes place. It's really a beautiful thing. It really is to be able to see that, and to let our children see that. Because these places, as humble as they are extremely important. Because we don't have a lot of places to work out the inside of ourselves. To express ourselves and turn stuff around and try and be able to come out somewhere and try and fail and get back and try again.
Well, Diane Robertson is here, and it's real interesting, her involvement with the world stage. How did you come to meet Diane?
Well, one day we were having one of our many street festivals that we have here on the street, and I was standing right here in the door. So Diane, she pops in, and she just kind of wanted to know what's going on in this place. She had never heard or seen the world stage before. So I invited her to come in and have a seat, and I ran down all of the programs and everything that we're doing here and all of the history. And so she invited us to come and have a table at their block club party. And so in doing so, we came over and sat at the table at the block club, and we struck up a conversation. Just so happened that Jamil, the artist, was one of the guys that was in the block club, one of her neighbors. So then we all began to talk about it, and so one thing led to another, and Diane, she's probably one of the brightest people that I've ever met in my life, and so she came up with the idea that she would do this fundraiser. And if when Diane says that she's going to do something, it's going to be done all the way, and it's going to be done right.
To my left, Mr. Herb Wesson, the president.
It's a pleasure to be here. I don't have opportunities like this often, but there's a gap in my schedule, so I snuck in here kind of below the radar, enjoying the music, and Diane has put together a phenomenal fundraiser because we moved from across the street to put up a sign, and I'm glad that I could put in a few bucks to help her deliver that sign to the world stage.
Yes, indeed. We're happy to have you. Diane, man, so happy to have you as well, and you're the one that had the idea for helping these guys put together the fundraiser, so tell me about it.
Yes, so I'm fairly new to the Leimert Park community, having moved here almost 3 years ago. I adore the community and am very invested in it, and I believe in what they're doing at the world stage. The executive director, Dwight Trible, is a fantastic person, wonderful spirit, and I approached him and told him I wanted to do my small part and offered to raise funds for their exterior neon backlit sign, which will be fantastic once it's created.
You say Leimert Park, you say the world stage, you hear the music, and we have so many important people in jazz, in music, and television. Right here, Mr. Guillermo Brown.
Yep. Hey, how's everybody doing?
And another incredible musician, Mr. John Beasley.
Hey, Leroy. Hey, Guillermo.
So, man, these two brothers haven't met, but they're very big on the television scene, on the music scene, on the jazz scene. So just want to do a quick introduction to these cats right here and have you talk a little bit about what you do and see if we can share some music together.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm Guillermo Brown. I'm a drummer and singer and music producer, and I moved to LA about 2 years ago from New York. Currently, I play in the house band on the Late Late Show with James Corden and Reggie Watts, and I have a music project called Pegasus Warning, and I definitely come from a school of jazz in New York City and spent many years in that scene playing with people like Matthew Shipp, David S. Ware, William Parker, Roy Campbell, Rob Reddy, just a whole bunch of different styles and different ways to experiment inside of the music that we call jazz. That's me, just slightly.
Just slightly, he says, right? Just slightly. JB, Mr. John Beasley.
Yeah, let's see. Well, I've been at it maybe a little longer than Guillermo, a little older. My credits were Freddie Hubbard and Miles Davis, Steely Dan, Joe Farrell, Queen Latifah, kind of all over the place. I have a band called Monkister right now. We're celebrating music of Thelonious Monk. And I will never forget learning how to play with Billy Higgins across the street at the original world stage and hearing him play all over the place. And yeah, and we're here to celebrate him and to celebrate the new joint. I'm John Beasley for All Music Television, and we're at the world stage with my teacher and the guy I looked up to so much, and he's my first boss here. This is John B. Williams. the fine bassist from New York City. We played together with Freddie Hubbard, he's played with Nancy Wilson, Horace Silver, Billy Higgins, I'm sure, across the street a bunch. And we're here at the World Stage for a fundraiser to try to get a big neon sign so everybody knows what's happening here.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So, John, can you say something about, your early experiences at the World Stage?
Oh man, this place is it's an institution. It's been a place for young players and for older players, and so many of us have had an opportunity to come here and play. And it's reminiscent of a club in New York called Slugs. It's like Slugs was a club was on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and you could go in there and just the whole vibe was just about fresh music, about new music, about taking chances, about the avant-garde, and about just, and it's an institution like that. And I'm so glad that it's the only place that I know of in Los Angeles that really kind of lends itself to that type of new, fresh music. Thanks to the late Billy Higgins for bringing that.
Yes.
Billy, of course, playing those years where he played with Ornette, and he brought that vibe. And so God bless him and God rest his soul, man, and for this contribution that he made.
The World Stage. This is kind of.
This is an institution, man.
You're gonna get the roots from the beginning all the way to now here,
That's
man.
right. That's right. I mean, there's no place like this. There's no place like the World Stage.
These are all community people from the community.
Not only just in Los Angeles, I think around the country, man. This is like a landmark. This is a landmark, and this is an institution. And I'm so glad to be able to be a part of helping to bring focus to this wonderful institution of music.